Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down and do another video for you guys and gals. Let me get a sip of my water first. My radio voice going, and let's talk about this. And when we discuss this, I think people need to realize this sort of advice is for people who just generally want to be jacked, want to be strong, want to look good. I'm not telling you that this is the secret to winning the Mr. Olympia. I'm not telling you this is the secret to being on the cover of a magazine. I'm not even telling you this is the secret to breaking world records in powerlifting. So we need to be clear there. But I feel like a lot of the advice influencers try to give is trying to get down to the smallest minutia to the point to where they have people focus on things that don't even matter for their goals. Okay. In other words, are you really worried about your upper, outer, inner chesticles? Or most guys who are training their chest just want a big ripped chest? Okay. People spend a lot of time worried about fine details that their audience, quite frankly, doesn't care about, that won't even matter towards their fitness or aesthetic goals. And let's be honest here. Most people are not going to push their lifestyle to the point to where they're going to live their entire life around the gym, their entire diet perfect, everything else, even people who consume fitness content. So when I say this, I do mean if people came in and generally just got good at 4 exercises, and I'll have people argue those are not the best for whatever. Yeah, whatever. You can say that all you want, but they work. You'll be jacked top to bottom if you get good at all 4 of them. And then I would say, always remember, fill in the gap. So when I make these statements, I am not telling people, do these 4 things and nothing else. No, you'll never need it. It's not what we're saying. Saying treat other stuff like accessories. Accessories, what does that mean? We build our weak links. Because everyone's weak links are going to be different. Genetically, your weak links in your strength are going to be different. Your weak links aesthetically are going to be different. Okay. And what would I say those 4 movements are? Big 3, squat, bench, deadlift, and then pull-ups of some type. I say pull-ups because not everyone is necessarily pursuing the best bicep development. If they do, they may be able to just throw in curls. I personally do chins right now on these, and I'm pushing chins super, super hard. But chins are still a pull-up variation, aren't they? They're just a really good bicep pull-up variation. So what all will get covered with these? And keep in mind, this means that if nothing else, you have nothing else but the time to do these, you could come in and do a 3-day-a-week program, 4-day-a-week program. You know, if it's 3 days a week, you could do pull-ups or something on a couple of the days if you needed to, right? You could have a bench day, a squat day, a deadlift day. You can come in and do some pull-ups at the end of any of those. Be fine. You could do some extra abs in or whatever on squat days and get out of there if you had to. But I'm saying people would need to do other stuff. If you're doing an upper, lower, you can do bench and pull-ups as a superset. Lower days you could do squats and then deadlifts. You could go home if you had to. Like if your lifestyle isn't allowing for more recovery, your schedule is crazy tight, as long as you have these foundational exercises and you're proficient at them, you could get in and do a few sets of those and get out. And that's what I'm saying. You would still make progress. You would still be working every muscle in your body. And I tell people that if you don't think that you would be jacked, and again, I know this is extreme. People say there's no way a person can get jacked on those. Really? You show me any man who can do 10 reps with 315 on the bench, 10 reps with 405 on a deep squat, 10 reps with 500 on a deadlift, and can knock out, I don't know, a 90-pound weighted chin-up for 10 reps. You tell me that's not going to be one jacked dude. Tell me other than if pro bodybuilders and people are hanging around, he's not going to be the biggest dude in the room. Dude would be monstrous. What are you talking about? So you can't say they won't work, because we all know that they will. We know that they will. So then what do I mean your weak links after that? I'm saying you could build your program around this. You could adjust all the accessory work that you do behind it based around your recovery, your overuse. So again, overuse People say, well, you're just doing forward movements, you get overuse. Well, if you do too much volume on those forward movements, yes. But if your other stuff is then done as accessories and you rotate those around from time to time, and your volumes aren't crazy high, you're not going to get overuse. Not if you're using good form and keeping volumes moderated. Overuse comes from excessive volume, oftentimes accompanied with some questionable form. That's your bad combination. That's where we get overuse injuries. This is why people tear biceps on curls all the time. So what do we mean? What do we mean accessories? Well, if your arms suck, do more arm work, right? You could maybe do chin-ups instead of pull-ups, throw in extra arm work. There you go. If your pecs are lagging, you could add pullovers, you could add some dumbbell presses, something else. In other words, if you get good arms, good shoulders, all that, then do some extra work for your pecs. What I would say to most people, because a lot of guys would get pretty decent development, a lot of guys out there would actually get decent arms off just doing that, especially if they did chins. Well, then I would say focus on your delts then. If in doubt and you are chasing aesthetics, focus on your delts. And if you want to do some curls, throw some curls in. Lower body, same thing. You would build a jack lower body. Does anyone not understand that even your calves will grow from squats and deadlifts? Again, assuming you are doing them correctly. You know, we bring this up and someone will say, well, I wasn't that big years ago. Like I saw one of these other smaller influencers came and argued that. I wasn't that big when I did powerlifting. He wasn't really powerlifting. First of all, he was bouncing the bar off his chest. It's like I'm bigger now years later. Well, you mean in years of training you got bigger? Really? That actually happens? I continue to get bigger while training? Of course you did. That's usually how it works when you haven't reached anywhere near your potential. But his bench also was terrible. It's bouncing a bar off his chest with a medium grip, butt coming off the bench. Claimed deadlifts didn't build his lower body, but he was sumo deadlifting. Yeah, well, I'm not calling that. It's called a sumo deadlift. When we talk about a deadlift, I'm talking about a conventional deadlift. The conventional deadlift will get you thick. Absolutely will. Try it. Again, do some appreciable weight for reps. Do some sets of 10 with 405 on a conventional deadlift with full resets for a few months, and then come back and tell me you didn't get thicker. Shut up. But even the lower body, so okay, where were you liking? Do you need some extra ab work? Do some ab work. If your calves suck, do some calf raises. When in doubt, maybe some hamstring work isn't a bad idea. I don't care whether it's good mornings, RDLs, glute ham raises, hamstring curls on a machine. All right, fine. If you need more hamstring, do some hamstrings. But I mean, my point there, if in doubt and you don't know what to throw in on a lower body, throw in hamstring. Just like I said on the upper body. If you don't know what to throw in, you can't find a weak link. No guy has ever gotten less aesthetic because he added a little bit more side delt. Do some extra shoulder work. If you can't think of anything else, if you can't see any obvious imbalances, there's your solution. Right? Most people can train this way, and with good programming and loading on those main four lifts, picking accessories as they need them, the average person could get just as jacked as they're ever going to get. They would be strong, they would be jacked, and they would make efficient use of their gym time. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.